Hey people, Shaman Hawk here for Shamanic Lodge. Something that I get questions about is shamanism compatible with Christianity? Well, it depends, I guess, because we have so many different types of Christians in Christianity. Um, if if you follow the one part about you shall not have any other god than me, or no idol worshiping, or any other hardline stuff, probably not. If you take the Bible absolutely literally, probably not. I mean, I've read the Bible front to back 3 times in 3 different languages. We have to also understand the history of the Bible and how many times it's been rewritten, things taken out, things put in, and so on. Um, so, in that context, if you were to take Christianity in its simplest form, maybe just the Ten Commandments, or you know, treating people well, you know, yes, it'll work very well. Um, Probably shamanism, at least from my lineage, the Old Testament might work a little bit better, you know, because we don't have a problem with taking care of an enemy, something like that, or preventing an attack. Um, you know, Polyamory is kind of a normal thing in shamanism. Um, it really depends. I couldn't say one way or the other. No, there's no definite yes or no on that. It really depends on the person. Um, Shamanism does not believe in a hell, so that kind of it's not really with the Bible there. We can't imagine that you're only going to get one life to live, no reincarnation, and you better get it right the first time, or you're going to burn in hell forever and ever by the choice of a loving God. No. So in those aspects, no, it will not work. Sorry. Like I said, in the aspect of just generally being a good person, yes, it will. And I grew up in between 2 different cultures. More of the pagan side, Native American side, and there were Christian Native Americans, and then the you know dogmatic, hellfire and brimstone Christian side, along with a lot of hypocrisy. So I'm familiar with both worlds. I prefer the shamanic world because it's a little more closer to nature. There's no theory of God gave us dominion over the earth and therefore we can just plunder. We don't believe that. However, in my shamanic journey, the perceptions of God got a lot bigger. If I was to say, you as a kid, you hear about God, and you given this picture of the old guy up in the clouds throwing lightning bolts and passing on whatever lessons and things like that. No, but then when I started to explore physics a little bit more in relation to shamanism, then I had a deeper appreciation for what we would call a God consciousness. Even physicists these days are um, acknowledging that it's a possibility that the darkness or dark matter of space is information and is conscious. They're saying that, because the human consciousness, by observing a subatomic experiment, can change the results, that's a lot of power. And when we look at, prayer in my mind is taking your thoughts, of the ethers and your spirit, and making them resonate on the physical plane through your voice, and that helps your manifestation. Now, manifestation by a human being, according to a lot of Christians, is called witchcraft. But I just don't. It goes back to that fear, guilt, and shame thing that follows Christianity so much, and that's not a shamanic thing. If I was to, look at who I think the God consciousness would be, if it's a person, it would be the perfect parent. The perfect parent is not going to take their children out into the street and set them on fire because they did something they didn't quite approve of. uh, the perfect parent would not give the child one chance to do anything right the first time, and if it didn't, eternal damnation. No. I mean, think about it. To be incarnated onto the planet and to just figure out what it's like to be a human being in that small part of the earth that you inhabit, and just try to live a prosperous, happy life, that's a big deal. And then what about the people who don't live but a few years, if at all? Or what about the people who are born into a totally condemning environment under an oppressive regime or religion? It's just, no, you would have to give that person another chance, and therefore I believe in reincarnation. I think that the human consciousness, excuse me, sawdust, would want to experience as much of humanity as possible. And then, of course, in the reincarnation part, we would want to go even further. I mean, why not reincarnate as other species on this planet, maybe on other planets, and so on. So these are the things that you'd have to consider, if you could ask the question, does shamanism really blend in with Christianity? So, in the most part, I'd say no, just because of the dogmatic doctrine of Christianity. But we don't worship demons. We don't, there's no human sacrifice. There's nothing that you would call really bad behavior, in shamanism. I mean, even the Christians don't think, the things that we do are like really evil. And that's about all I can think of. I mean, if you guys have other ideas about it, leave something in the comment. By the way, that, a video like this one here comes from a letter I get from email asking, specifically, but how does Christianity and so on match with shamanism and stuff. So I'm going to be doing more of these. Of course, I can't name names, or I can't give anything that might lead towards a person. But this is a common question, and this was that point where I thought that I'd go ahead and just make a video out of it. And I'm going to do a few more about subjects that I get through email. All right. You guys be safe out there. Enjoy life. Catch you guys later.